Hey everybody, as part of the Super Conference, I am here for the pre-rankings for the league of the Super Conference. As most of you know that have played in a league with me, usually I like to do the pre-rankings. This isn't only for me to show off my great team that I just picked in the draft, but this allows me to look at everybody else's team and see if there's different trade possibilities. So I think by doing this, it really helps me out a lot. If anybody wants to come out with their own rankings, maybe in retaliation if I put you toward the bottom, feel free to do that. Here are the different rankings though. Basically I did it on a scale of 100 and gave different positions points. The points breakdown is your QB could get up to 15 points, your running back combination up to 20, wide receiver combination 15 points, the flex gave you 7 points, your total bench gave you 10 points, kicker 5, defense 5, tight end 8 points, and then coaching ability or pass experience is a total of 15. That is actually kind of crucial for picking up teams, updating your team, stuff like that. And I thought it was really important, so that's why I weighted it at 15. And they came out to 100. So all these scores are out of 100. As you can see, it's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. The breakdown is all the teams that are in blue are in the AFC East. All the teams in black are in the AFC West. All the teams in green are in the NFC East. And all the teams in red are in the NFC West. Real quickly, just going over each conference in the AFC East. Cleveland came in second place. Evan, I thought you had a really strong running back combination. And I think you have a lot of possibilities, especially with Hardesty on your bench. I also really like Kolb a lot. I think he's a great quarterback. But you definitely, I think, need to improve your wideouts. I think Johnny Knox is going to lose his position to Aroma Shadu. And Steve Smith, you kind of wonder if that was a one-year wonder kind of thing. So I would try to improve wide receiver. So as far as myself, first place in the AFC East and third place overall. I think I have a really strong running back combination, Sean Green and DeAngelo Williams, possibly both #1 picks. I also really like Percy Harvin now that Sidney Rice is hurt. However, definitely could improve my quarterback, and Matt Ryan kind of had an off year last year, and also Heath Miller isn't the most exciting tight end, so I can improve those positions. Kill. I thought you had a really good team overall, Lucas. Nothing spectacular, but nothing bad either. I really do like Vernon Davis and Calvin Johnson. I think those are two really good players. Your running backs, I kind of question. Cedric Benson, is he going to perform how he did last year? And Ricky Williams sharing carries with Ronnie Brown is going to be a little tough. Also, your bench really misses out on that extra running back. Maybe if Steve Slayton gets more carries, that will be a great bench player, but depth is lacking a little bit on your team. So maybe try to make some trades to get some more depth is what I thought. And then Brian, you actually have a really good, okay team. The reason why you're down here is because of your experience. Out of the 15, I gave you a 9, meaning if you probably played football at least once, and what I've seen in the baseball league, I probably would have given you a 13. So that would have raised you to about a 79. So that's the only reason why you're down there at the bottom, but we'll see how that goes. As far as the AFC West, real quickly, Kyle leads it off. I thought by far has the best team. Maybe could use a better wideout between Mike Wallace and Sims Walker. But other than that, has a really good team in Romo, Chris Johnson, LaShawn McCoy, as long as he can stay healthy. So, and also I really like Demaryius Thomas on Denver. I know that they're comparing him a lot to like a Calvin Johnson or Brandon Marshall. So, really good team, hard to beat him. My brother comes in second, Los Angeles, Seismic Quakes, Flacco and Alex Smith combination, meh. But I really like the Ray Rice and Beanie Wells combination. That looks very strong as well with a Deshaun Jackson at wideout. I really like his team a lot as well. San Diego, Aaron, you're kind of interesting here because you actually had a really good team until Sidney Rice got hurt. And that's just kind of luck of the draw. When he comes back, if you can pull out a 500 record before he comes back, I think you'll make the playoffs because you'll have Sidney Rice and Miles Austin. I think Ryan Matthews will be better at that point, and maybe Forte can return to his rookie season. Also, you got Palmer with T.O. and Ochocinco's targets. I think he'll have a better year. So San Diego right now is a 76, but really has a lot of potential, especially when Sidney Rice comes back. And then the Fargo embargo. Mike, I thought you actually have an outstanding team. Really good team with Breeze, Driver, Wayne, Adai, and Barber. But then you don't really have another running back. Maybe if Leon Washington gets a start. So try to add a third running back to your depth because running back is the most important position in the league. And if you can add that, I think you're going to make the playoffs. To the NFC East. Indianapolis, Chris, you're going to probably hate me for that, and I know you've had great teams in the past, but really, Matthew Stafford at starting quarterback, really, I love your wideouts. I wish they were mine, and Fitzgerald and Crabtree, and that's great, but you got then Frank Gore, great, but James Stewart splits the carries with D'Angelo Williams, and then your third running back is the third running back on the Cardinals' depth chart. So you are definitely same problem as Mike, missing on that third wideout, and I had to take a lot of points off for that for your depth. So between Stafford and your depth, that was kind of the missing link. Meanwhile, Brian, I thought had a spectacular team in Minnesota. Really has a lot of good players, leading off with Adrian Peterson. I thought the Tony Gonzalez, and actually I think Brandon Marshall is a great pickup. Also, he has Best, who I think will be a great running back. And then his bench was solid, and Fred Jackson and Breston on the Cardinals. I think they're going to be really good bench players for you. So, Brian, I think you are heading to the title game as of right now. You look really good. New York Blackout, T-Pow, right here coming in at the 7th spot, just out of the playoffs. Overall, once again, very good team. With Jones, Drew, Jennings, Rivers. I really like Hakeem Nicks a lot. C.J. Spiller is your second running back, though I think lacks. Maybe by the end of the year he might, but he's going to really hurt you, I think, in the first half of the season, having him as your second running back. So if I were you, I'd trade Jones, Drew for 2 running backs if you could. But that's definitely something that you need to improve on. Also, lacking a lot of depth, as well as I said, as well. And then finally, Green Bay Legends, same, coming in at 80, tied for that 6th position, really close to the playoffs. Adam, I like your whole team, except running back, which is the most important position, I think, in fantasy football. And you have Jerome Harrison and Arian Foster. Players that have a lot of potential, but very risky moves. Otherwise, I mean, Rodgers, Randy Moss, Hines Ward, Antonio Gates. I mean, those are players that you definitely don't have to worry about, that they will perform. So, huge question marks at running back, though, and that's the only reason why you're down here. Finally, in the NFC West, which I actually thought coming in was going to be the best conference, but when I looked at it, a lot of holes, I think, in the NFC West. Starting off with Oakland, Carson, you actually have a pretty good team, and you actually surprised me in the draft, because I didn't know what you were doing at first in the draft. But you came in, your wideouts are spectacular in Bolden and Macklin. I also like Steven Jackson, but your second running back is Michael Bush. And he's a Raider, so I can see why you're biased, but I'm not sold on Michael Bush. I really like Seelick, though, at tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially with a young quarterback in Kolb. And I agree with you with Gerhardt. I think Gerhardt would be a good play. Josh Miller, here coming in with the San Fran Frenzy at 77. I think we're just going to disagree that you like these players and I don't. I don't like Dwayne Bowe at all. I don't like Ronnie Brown at all. He's an injury-prone player. Brandon Jacobs might get goal line carries, which is great, but I think Ahmad Bradshaw is going to start getting a lot of the carries. And I think McNabb has passed his years. I do like Andre Johnson and Jamal Charles, but a lot of those players I think that you have are kind of iffy on your team. And I know you really like them, so one of us is going to be right and the other is going to be wrong. Just a matter is we'll see who's right. San Antonio, Tim, I know it's really hard for us to do the draft, and maybe this is why you're a little bit lower. I like your pick, which Shaw might have been a little early, but Shaw's a great pick. Ryan Grant's a great pick. I actually like Ochocinco a lot this year as well, and Malcolm Floyd. Maya Bradshaw, you know, he'll get a lot of carries, but not any goal line carries with Brandon Jacobs. And then you have Sproles as your third running back, which that's kind of an interesting play, but he's not going to really get any too many carries. So I also saw that you have Big Ben on your bench, which once he comes back, that'll be a good depth, and you could almost trade him because you have Schaub. So I don't know if you really need Big Ben to another team to try to improve your team. So you have a lot of okay players, but nobody great other than Schaub and Grant. So try to improve on that depth. And then finally, Portland, Camrod. Mark, you've been awesome in the past, so I'm kind of similar to Josh. I'm kind of expecting you to prove me wrong. You do have Cutler, who I hate. I think he's a wine bag. Steve Smith hasn't done anything over the years, last 2 years, and Tio is kind of on the downturn. I do like Michael Turner for a comeback here, and of course I love Jermichael Finley. So other than those players that haven't been kind of consistent, especially at wideouts, I don't like. So pretty much that's it. In my opinion, best conference, I'm going to have to probably go with the NFC East. But otherwise, I'm going to expect a Kyle Armstrong versus Brian here in the championship. And you guys go at it. And these are my 6 teams to make the playoffs. So that's all I got. So let the season begin. Let the trades begin. And game on.